Hi, I'm Camilla.
And I'm Kang, and we are the
FI
FI Resellers.
We are part-time resellers on eBay, Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace, and a few items on Depop, just dipping our toes in a little bit. We are going to share our best sales from the past week, but then we're going to share an overview of our past year. So how much did we make in 2022? Some of our thoughts kind of on looking at those numbers, and then what we're gonna change and do in 2023 to grow our business. This might spark something in you, so you wanna stay tuned. So we sold a quilt this week, and this is an Arch Quilts, so that's a brand, and we've sold a quilt by this brand before, but actually Kang's sister picked this up for us. She's also a reseller, and she was at the bins, and she found this, and sent us a picture and asked if we wanted it, and we were like, yes, we want this because it is a double wedding ring pattern quilt. So even though it's manufactured, meaning, someone didn't make it themselves, it's from a brand, the pattern is still really good. This is a classic pattern. And if you want to know more about quilt patterns, we have a downloadable PDF with some of the most common ones. And that is pay what you want or free. So we would love if you had that as a resource, because this is one that can go for a good amount. This sold for $69.30. We had it on a 30% sale the week before Christmas, just trying to get some of our sales moving. And so this fell into that. And I think we could have gotten a little bit more if we had waited a little bit longer, but we were really trying to spur our store into action. And this is a little bit damaged. It has a few rips here and there. And, it's just a manufactured quilt, so not quite as valuable as like a handmade one or an antique one, but really excited for the sale because it was just from the bin, so not too expensive and a pretty good profit on it, and especially selling pretty quickly too.
Okay, so you see that it's 5 pounds and about 3 ounces, so you definitely want to weigh up the quilt in probably a box, something like priority mail, especially if you're selling on Poshmark, just to make sure that it's under 5 pounds. Most quilts that are the size of a double or smaller are about 5 pounds or less, even in the box. So that's just something that you really need to keep in mind for Poshmark. Obviously for eBay, where we sold this one, the buyer paid shipping, so we're all good there. But the quilt itself is under 5 pounds. It's just the box added a few ounces. You can ship it in a big poly mailer, and that would probably cut it down to under 5 pounds if you had one like that. So just a word to the wise.
These are a pair of Cole Haan booties. They are the Camille booty, and they are a sock booty. So these sold for $40 plus shipping on eBay. That was a full price sale. I priced them kind of high because they are more recent style and very trendy and very cute, and they're in pretty good condition. So I was excited to find these and list them. I picked up a lot of Cole Haan, not all Cole Haan, but only the stuff that I could see people reasonably wearing today. Things that are on trend and not, don't look too outdated. Cole Haan is a brand that's known for their leather, and they've been around for a really long time, so they have all different sorts of styles. So that is a key to a lot of these brands that make quality items but have been around for a while, like Stuart Weitzman, Donald J. Pliner, that sort of thing. You really want to look at those things and think, is this a style that is current? Not something that you look at and think, oh, that's kind of ugly. So definitely pick up the nice looking items, and this is definitely one of them. I thought these were super cute. I was pretty sad they weren't my size, but I'm excited to send them out to the buyer.
Okay, pretty fun one for you, because this is a mural puzzle, and there are 4 of them actually that go together, and each are sold individually, about 221 pieces I believe each. I did all of them to verify, and I verified that one puzzle is missing one piece. Pretty tragic. So you can see that each individual one can make their own picture, and then you can actually take the edges off and make this bigger mural. I ended up taking an offer of $40 plus shipping on this because it was missing that one piece, and I can't imagine a whole lot of people like to have puzzles that is missing one piece. That would drive me crazy. So originally I wanted to get closer to 60 to 70. That's what the comps were going for. Maybe I should have split it up and sold the complete ones by themselves. I'm not sure at this point. I'm just really happy to have gotten these gone. I had my fun with them. When I originally saw these at a church rummage sale, I thought vintage G.I. Joe, that's a no-brainer, pick it up. And sure enough, I got a good amount for it, but I really wish I could have gotten more. But oh well, happy to get this going because it is kind of bulky, and we're going to ship it USPS priority mail, and hopefully the buyer's happy with it.
We sold this Escada blazer, and I just listed this the other day. I thought it was so nice. It's so funky and cool. It does have some pilling, which I listed in the description. So I'm excited to send this off to the buyer. The buyer paid full price on Poshmark, $50. So I am so excited for this. I have recently been picking up Escada. I've been finding it recently, and I just really like this brand. It's definitely a more mature brand, but some of the items are coming back in style, like this one. I could see someone styling this really nicely, so I think that is something to keep in mind with, you know, some of these different brands, is that really think about the trends, and if it is something that's on trend, you might be able to get a little bit more for it.
We sold this pair of Tony Lama cowboy boots on eBay. They are pretty worn at the bottom, but the leather in excellent condition, and we ended up selling these for $40 plus shipping. And the thing with most boot companies is that they'll often give you the style name, so it's really easy to look up. If it doesn't have the style name, it's not the end of the world. We also like to pick up boots based on the style and design on the sides here. These are pretty nice, nicely embroidered and sewn in. Overall, really happy with the sale. We had listed them for $50 and took an offer for $40. I actually got these from a St. Vincent de Paul thrift store, and we don't really do any hauls from there because I go during my lunch break and it's not really anything substantial ever. I only get like maybe 2 items at most at one time. And so I do sometimes make Instagram reels and YouTube shorts out of some of those, but overall, not really anything compiling and putting into a video. So if you want to see more of those shorter form thrift hauls type things, then you should definitely follow us on Instagram and take a look at those on YouTube when they come out.
So here I have 2 pairs of Paige jeans. They're the Skyline Skinny, and one is the Armstrong wash and one is the Howard wash. And if you watched our haul video where we got 83 pounds, I picked up 4 of these Paige jeans, and so 2 of them have already sold. I haven't listed the other 2 yet because you can't have, you know, duplicate listings on eBay and on Facebook Marketplace. So I thought it would be better to just list them, you know, one at a time, or in this case, because they were different washes, they're not exactly duplicate. So I'm gonna list the other one soon. But, you know, in my video, I talked about how skinny jeans, I thought maybe were coming back, and, you know, a lot of people had been saying, you know, skinny jeans are out, but these sold pretty quickly. They sold in total for $30, so $15 each. So they're not like, you know, big money makers in any sense, but it goes to show you that these kind of staples, you know, people want, you know, what they're used to, what they're accustomed to, and with this, that is definitely a purchase because this person bought 2 of the same pair of jeans. Like, obviously this buyer knows it. She likes these jeans. She likes the way they fit. She wants a couple more pairs. So definitely be thinking about that when you are out at the thrift store. What are things that people, you know, old reliables, all that kind of stuff. So really excited for this sale. Here we sold a pair of Mia sandals, and these are the Greta sandals. And this brand is not to be confused with another Mia brand that sold, I think maybe at Walmart or something like that. It's not as good of quality, but these Mia Swedish clogs, they make, you know, wooden shoes. These are worth a lot of money, and these sold for $75 on Poshmark. This was a full price sale, so really excited to have that. I love when I get full price sales. These Swedish clogs, if you ever see these out, you know, these wooden shoes, you should definitely look them up because so many of them are worth good money. They are, you know, just high quality shoes, and they don't really go in and out of style, so people like them for that reason as well. And so definitely be on the lookout for this style of shoe, and they, you know, you can find the style name and all of that when you research it. So really excited for this sale, and I hope that the buyer really likes these.
All right, we have one other sale that we forgot to do a clip on, but this one was really good because it's got a great story to it. We sold these 2 vintage Banana Republic dresses. They were really cool colors, and they sold for $41 plus $9 shipping to one buyer. Originally, the buyer on Facebook Marketplace wanted to buy just one for $25 plus shipping. And to try to get the other dress sold, I asked them, do you want to buy this other one? I can try to package it together and give you a discount and discount on shipping. So what we did was $41 plus $9 shipping. They actually took it And I was like, yes, I closed the deal. And so great sale there, and we couldn't be happier.
Yeah. ABC, always be closing.
Yeah.
So another sale we wanted to mention, and not because it's good, but because it's bad. We sold this Department 56 Snow Babies figurine, and it sold for $7 on Poshmark, but we paid about $4 for it at a garage sale. So we actually lost money after the fees and stuff, so yeesh. Anyway, we were thinking in 2023 that we'll probably move away from some of these smaller items, especially hard goods. As I've been going to the bins recently, I've been kind of almost ignoring the hard goods, really focusing on clothes. Number one, because I don't like listing them as much, so they end up kind of going into my death pile and just languishing there for a while. And also because I don't know enough about them, so you know, when I am picking things up, well, I didn't buy it. You technically bought it, so this is on you.
This is on me.
One thing that we live by in reselling is that you make money at the buy. So you don't want to ever make bad buys, and this was a bad buy. And we find that we tend to make more bad buys in categories that we aren't as familiar with because we are, you know, like, oh, you know, whatever, kind of have that attitude. So trying not to do that and trying to intentionally decide on which categories we're going to expand into, learn about them more, and really put in that time and effort into learning it so that we're not just going willy-nilly, you know, into things.
When we are looking at 2023, I'm thinking that if we dive into maybe one or two more categories, that would be the max, and we try to dive deep.
Okay, so here are numbers from the past 2 weeks. So we sold 63 items for a gross revenue of $1,623.29. Our cost of goods for those 63 items was $152.32. On eBay, we sold 33 items for $529.86. On Poshmark, we sold 24 items for $311.71. On Facebook Marketplace, we sold 6 items for $121.33. So in total, our net profit from the past 2 weeks was $962.90.
Pretty close.
So yeah, pretty close to our goal.
Better than the last 2 weeks. I'll tell you that much. It's a good trending upward that we feel good about.
So we're still getting back into the swing of our store after, you know, holidays. We kind of took a little bit of a break, Christmas Eve and Christmas. So we're getting back into the swing of things and, you know, making goals for 2023.
Poshmark did have a bounce back from the last 2 weeks. It was terrible the last 2 weeks. And now we've made about the right amount that we feel good about where Poshmark should be as compared to eBay. So that's reflected in our numbers, and that's hopefully going to continue. I think Poshmark has cooled down a little bit on their live sales. People have lost the hype, and now people are returning to the regular shopping with a little bit of live sales here and there. And the focus has kind of dispersed a little bit, right? It used to be pretty heavily focused on live sales. Poshmark seems to be mostly back to normal based on our numbers. Hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah, so we wanted to tell you kind of how we did in 2022 and, you know, what we're looking towards in 2023. So in 2022, we made a total net profit of $37,080.65. So that's pretty good, especially because we had a baby this year, which was awesome. You know, great year for us personally. And the best year that we've ever had reselling. You know, we had a couple months in the beginning of the year from like January to May where I was full-time doing reselling. And so that really kind of supercharged our numbers, especially because in June when I had the baby and July we did very, very little. And even continuing beyond that, we were listing like death pile items and stuff. You know, we had kind of a chunk where things were awesome and a chunk where things were like not so good in our listings. So that's okay. In total, we sold 2,091 items.
I like to think about it as we rehomed over 2,000 used items. That's incredible. And I hope that when you look at your numbers, you're seeing that a lot of your used items are given another life, and that's something to be proud of.
So our average profit per item was $17.73, which is awesome. And I think it's up from the previous year. So that's a really good trend that we want to keep going on. We want to raise our average profit per item because that helps us not have to work so hard, and we can make just as much money if we can sell fewer items for more money. That's great. So we're really happy with the way 2022, you know, kind of turned out. And we have some goals for 2023 monetarily, we want to make about $40,000 in reselling alone. That means that we have to list a little bit more to kind of make up that difference, and that means that our new weekly goal will be about $750 per week.
Whoa.
So we'll have to take a little bit of time to like work up to that, but I think that we can do it.
Yeah, I think so too. So every 2 weeks, we'll hopefully update you and say that we've gotten $1,500 in profits in the last 2 weeks. As far as YouTube goes, we're going to keep trying to do 2-week increments of what sold videos. I think this pacing has been good for us so that we can focus on other things. One of our YouTube goals is to create one instructional or some sort of evergreen content each month. So hopefully 12 by the end of the year. And that will help us kind of grow our YouTube, but also help with a long-term mindset of what can people watch for more than a year or for more than just a few weeks. So we love making this type of content, but hopefully we'll do a lot more interesting things in the future too.
And then another goal that we have for our business is to clear out our old inventory. So we have items that we've had since 2020 and 2021. Our goal is to kind of bring all that stuff out of our storage, look at it, see where's this gonna go, and potentially even donate some of it, and just kind of start fresh so that we can have a real good understanding of our more recent items. I mean, things that were listed at the beginning of 2022 are not really recent anymore, but to kind of refresh our store so that our store is filled with good items and not kind of cluttered with all these other items that probably won't sell because they haven't sold yet.
One of the goals that we want to take on is buy more men's items. I don't know that we're going to exactly track exactly how many more men's items we buy, but just have a better consciousness of the items that we're picking up, the brands, because I think that the velocity of men's clothing is going to be higher than women's. And we focus a lot on women's clothes, and it's nice that we have constant and very consistent sales on women's clothing. But we've been talking for months now saying that men's clothes is kind of on the rise. More men are buying used items and they want to have quality items. And so that's what we're going to focus on. Quality items that will sell fast. And it doesn't really matter if it sells for a ton. The velocity to us matters, where the sell-through rate is very good and that we're selling them quickly.
So those are our goals for 2023. Let us know down in the comments, what are your goals for your business in 2023? We'd love to be able to cheer you on and, just encourage you down there. So make sure that you leave your goals down there so that we can all celebrate you.
All right, now it's time for our segment on building wealth. We're going to keep it kind of short this time, hopefully. So here's the update on how our total stock market index experiment. It's taken a bit of a punch to the gut, but overall still decent, minus 1,400. It's not all that different from the past few months. So this is pretty much expected. The recession or supposed recession that is coming or not coming or whatever is happening with the economy is really kind of hurting and stagnating our investments, but it's technically still a good time to buy so that it's long-term investing. We want you to know that we're in this for the long haul. We'll continue to keep you updated and make sure you come back and hopefully see us whenever it's in the green. The other thing we wanted to talk about with building wealth does tie into our business. It has to do with keeping costs low, and that's how we've always thought of our business and our regular expenses, is to try to keep things low so that the risk of lifestyle inflation or the risk of inflating our business too much in terms of cost of goods might not ruin us. Over the long span of 12 months for the entire year, what are we doing to keep our costs low so that our budget is reasonable and it doesn't inflate too much with all the crazy inflation going on, all the costs rising? What can we do to try to keep things low? These are just the things that we can control, right? We can't control the economy as a whole, but we can think about what other saving strategies we can take on or, substitute here and there, and then continue to adjust so that we're not taking on financial burden and kind of stressing ourselves out with that. And we hope that that kind of inspires you to look at your finances so that you can have a good 2023 and have a good basis for what financial goals you're trying to achieve. And hopefully that translates to your business as well.
Yes, so thank you so much for watching. We hope that you are having a good 2023 that is starting off great for you. Leave a comment with your goals down below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That tells YouTube that this is a good video. And if you aren't subscribed, consider subscribing. We would love to have you as part of our YouTube community.
Yeah, keep that passion burning, y'all. It's going to be a good year. I just know it. And it's up to you to make it a good year. We're always rooting for you. We'll see you later.
Bye. And I thought it was so nice. It's so funky and cool. Excuse me. It's so funky and cool, and I just listed it recently. It does have some